never, never, in nothing, great or small, large or petty, never give in except to convictions of honor and good sense. Never yield to force. Never yield to the apparently overwhelming might of the enemy.
But I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land. So I'm happy tonight. I'm not worried about anything. I'm not fearing any man. Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord.
We declare our right on this earth to be a man, to be a human being, to be respected as a human being, to be given the rights of a human being in this society, on this earth, in this day, which we intend to bring into existence by any means necessary.
Apostle Claver T. Kamauamani on RagingElePhantsRadio.com.
Hey, what's up, Saints and Patriots? Apostle Claver T. Kamauamani, RagingElePhantsRadio.com, the rebellious voice of Texas liberty. All right, today's program is indeed truly special. Well, why? Sunday, this past Sunday, 9th month, 9th day, it was my birthday. But there's much more important significance to the date 9/9, 9th month, 9th day. It marked the 5th anniversary of your rebellious voice of Texas liberty, your Texas network, RagingElePhantsRadio.com. I couldn't be prouder. We did it. We made it. I think that this guarantees we're supposed to make it to 10 years. Please, Lord Jesus, please let it be so. But on yesterday, I took myself a very lengthy trek, T-R-E-K, out to the west side of the Houston Metroplex. You can't call it the Metroplex. The Houston metro area, out to Katy, Texas, and to the amazing Doc Green's studio, an original broadcast activist of Raging Elephants Radio, one of the original RER team members, family members. He and his wife, JG Joanne, his favorite redhead, one of my favorite redheads. I don't know, do I know any other redheads except Joanne? I don't think so. But I went to his studio and we did a 5th anniversary program. We had some other reasons to get together as well, but we celebrated 5 years together on Doc Green's program, and it was videotaped, so therefore I videotaped it, video recorded it, and that's what I'm going to do right now. I am going to play the video recording of Doc Green and I on yesterday. Doc Green and me. What's the right language? Doc Green and me on yesterday at his studio. You can see it, the video, at RagingElePhantsRadio.com. I am streaming live on the Raging Elephants Radio YouTube channel, RER Video, no space in between, RER Video channel, or just go to RagingElePhantsRadio.com, the website, scroll down. In the right column, you'll see the link, the button to watch me live via the YouTube channel. And don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel while you are at it. So I'm going to go to Doc Green's studio. Here's the video of us having a blast on yesterday. The amazing Doc Green, his program on RagingElePhantsRadio.com. Enjoy the video, enjoy the program. 5 years, RagingElePhantsRadio.com, your rebellious voice of Texas liberty. And I thank each and every one of you for your support. Whether you were there at the very beginning, September 9, 2013, or if you're just recently coming on board. Because if you're not listening, you're not learning.
Live from Houston, Texas, a man who calls it like he sees it, without the normal political correctness you may have grown comfortable with. It's time for the Texas Perspective on current news and events. This show is not for the faint of heart or easily offended. Chances are you will learn something and along the way get to hear some great music from bands you may have missed. The doctor is in, and he will see you now.
Well, I guess we better get on with it.
Howdy, howdy. Glad to have all of you on the show today. Got to welcome everybody out there in Fredericksburg, especially our friends over at the Tejas Smoke Depot. Thank you guys for every month stepping up and supporting Liberty Radio. And that's why I invite everyone out there to slip on by the Smoke Depot and pick up some goodies for the weekend and say hi and say thank you. See Jody out there. She will treat you right. And once again, thank you for all that. Everybody on American Voice Radio, everybody on Raging Elephants Radio, everybody on YouTube, and in seconds, everybody on Facebook. So glad to have all of you out there, and we're going to have a good show today. Got a very special guest. It's very unusual that I get this guy on my show, but I have the Apostle Claver T. Kamau Imani on my show today, and we're going to talk about some Texas politics in particular, because I don't know anybody out there that knows as much about Texas politics as he does. So I really wanted to get him on the show today. And, of course, we're going to talk about some other stuff today. We're going to talk about Donald Trump. We're going to talk about what's going on in the world around us. I mean, all of this stuff's going to happen, and no telling who else may show up while we're on the show today, because it's going to be a good show. If you're not watching on TV, I am sorry for you. So the Apostle Claver T. Kamau Imani, welcome to the show.
The amazing Doc Green, the original Liberty Shot Jock. And everybody out there, no matter where you're listening on the planet, I'm taking full credit. I'm the one that first called him the amazing Doc Green. I'm the one that glossed him, because I am the master of nicknames. There it is.
It's absolutely true, folks. It is. So now you know the truth.
We're going to talk about Donald Trump, and I'm just going to say right off the bat, he is no competition when it comes to nicknames. No competition.
No, you're better.
I'll take him one-on-one when it comes to nicknames any day, any place, any time, for any amount of money. I'll go all in on Donald Trump. His money versus mine.
All right.
That way I'll take all his money.
Well, I mean, after all, you did come up with the mighty Heidi.
True.
Yeah, and that was a good one.
Barack Insane Obama.
Barack Insane Obama, which, by the way, has become a real favorite on my show. Every now and then somebody will comment on it, but you coined that.
I came up first.
I got it from you.
I came up first with MSDNC, BSNBC. That's all of mine. That's mine.
And these are all things you hear me say all the time, but yeah, this is the guy. This is the guy that did it, the Apostle Claver T. Kamau Imani. Now, you're kind of famous around these parts.
I am.
Well, you know you are. You started a billboard campaign a few years ago.
Infamous.
Yeah, and Raging Elephants, that was all you.
Well, and the supporters, the financial supporters, I spearheaded it. I was the
well,
face
you were
and
the
voice.
face.
Right, I was the face and the voice, but it was the supporters around the nation that got behind it and were donors to the political action committee I was running at the time, RagingElephants.org, which became, that's how people really became to know me and everything. So when we decided to go into media, the name ID was already there. It was just natural to go to Raging Elephants Radio, and there was some alliteration there too. So it all fit, and I think the branding of the media company works.
Well, it really does, and of course, I was honored to be asked to come on Raging Elephants Radio when you first founded that organization, now over 5 years ago.
5 years ago yesterday.
Yeah. So, this is like the 5-year anniversary show, is it not?
5 years yesterday. 5 years yesterday, man. On my birthday. Remember we started on my birthday?
That's right.
That's right.
Yes. So, and you cracked open that mic on that day, and Raging Elephants Radio became a reality.
Right. That's right. And I don't know, Doc, you know more about business than I do, but they keep saying that the 5-year threshold is important to be able to make it to 10 years and 10 years to make it to 20, 25 years. So, and it's been by the mouth of ravens that we've been fed that Raging Elephants Radio is still streaming 24/7, 365. So that's all been by the grace of the Lord Jesus right there.
Well, it is, because there have been times when I thought, that's it, I can't continue. We're out of money. We've got to stop. And then God just kind of steps in and says, here's a little something to get you by.
Yeah, I mean, and when that happens, and it's happened so many times, that, you know, you get the sense, all right, we're doing something here that's pleasing the Master. If he's not letting it die, I mean, we're not sitting here preaching the gospel all day. We're not making altar calls every day. We're not cracking open Genesis 1:1 to Revelation 22:21 every day. But we're advancing liberty. We're talking about protecting life. We're talking about expanding prosperity, and those are all biblical gospel tenets. That's what Jesus Christ taught. And I think the Lord Jesus is pleased with what we're doing. Although primarily we're talking politics, if we get judged by even our thoughts, the Lord Jesus teaches in the book of Romans tells us, then I think we get judged by our votes and our political activity or inactivity too. Now that may be a stretch. I can't point to that in gospel and scripture. But if we're getting judged, if we can be judged on our thoughts, and only the cross can save us from our thoughts, then what about our votes?
Yeah, well, I think you're on to something. There's no question in my mind that God is pleased by what we're doing, that he wants us to keep doing it. Because I got to tell you, I was ready a couple of times. I said, that's it. We're not bringing in enough money to cover the basics. I can't do this anymore. And then God comes through.
He comes through.
And so,
I mean, every single time it's been, I mean, when you think, I don't know how I'm going to pay the broadband bill. I don't know how I'm going to pay
because it costs money, folks, to be here. I mean, you might think, anybody can do this. Sure, you can pop up your cell phone and do it. But if you're going to do a real show, it costs money.
I got to pay for the app. I got to pay for the website to be up. I got to, how many times have, we don't get, I mean, how long has it been since we've gotten paid, Doc?
Well, I like to say is thank God for advertisers. That's all I can say. Because, look, some of these guys, they're up there once a month or every few months. They're up there begging for money. I just ask you to support the advertisers. Right. And Hartman, one of the new advertisers.
Yeah, he's a big commercial real estate guy here in Texas. He's got properties in Houston, Dallas, San Antonio, and I do believe he has a couple of properties in Austin, but for Dallas, San Antonio, and Houston, for sure, based here in Houston, has been a pro-liberty financier, political financier, and a man of God for quite some time. And he's gotten on board with Rich Gunnel's radio. And I believe there's going to be other political financiers, if you will, that understand the power of the work that we do, media in these days, from our biased perspective, and they're going to be supporting us. I think it's just a matter of getting out there and making the ask.
Well, I see Julie Stearns in the chat room. She says hello. Randy Beal says hello. Tex says hello. I mean, a lot of the old friends, they're still around, so we're always glad to see all of those people in here. But guys, for those of you that are new to the show, and for those of you that are watching on the video channel, whether it's on YouTube or Facebook, you're looking at the guy that created the monster, pretty much right there. And that would be the Apostle Claver T. Kamau Imani. Now, I recall early on, I was a Donald Trump supporter. I was jumping in there on Donald Trump, and I said, man, if this guy even gets in it, he wins it. And everybody was laughing at me.
And laughing at him.
Yeah, they were. And you were never really on the Trump train. You were a cruiser.
No, well, you know me, Doc. I mean, you know my position. First of all, full disclosure, I am a full-fledged, 100%, down-to-the-bone marrow, Texas independence advocate. Okay, that's what I'm praying for. You know what my prayer is?
Still,
Doc? I want to see Texas independence before you die. Okay.
Yep.
I want to see it before you die. And ever since Obergefell, man, in 2015, I have not voted in any elections for Washington, Devil City. I haven't. And so I didn't. People say, you're a Trump. I didn't vote for Donald Trump. I voted for Ted Cruz once.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
because ever since Obergefell, And then if you follow that with Roe v. Wade and Planned Parenthood v. Casey, and I'm like, no thanks. I don't want to have anything to do with Washington, Devil City, because my people here in Texas have a different point of view. What it says in our Texas Constitution is that marriage is between one man and one woman, and continually the largest voting bloc in the state of Texas, which is the Republican Party, and the Republican Party base has enshrined in the platform they want abortion abolished. They want it ended. They don't want bans at certain levels. They want it ended, and I agree with them.
Well, that's what I want, and that's what I'd like to see. That's why I've been so disappointed in my Republican Party. Got to say hello to Sharon Pruitt. I believe you're new on the show, Sharon. I don't think I've ever seen you here before. And, of course, our old friend Joe Seger up in Conroe, he's regular now. He's just family. But, yeah, I'm disappointed. 18, coming up on 19 years of total Republican hegemony here in Texas, and abortion is still available.
The list continues. I mean, the grievances that we could lay out, the question then becomes... the founders, our forefathers, our foreparents would have been shooting by now. They'd have been shooting a long time ago.
Yeah, they'd have got the guns out. I mean, we'd have never got here with them.
I mean, look, if you look at the Texas Declaration of Independence, we would have been shooting a long time ago. Things that are happening now that Santa Anna never dreamed of.
Yeah.
They're right here in Texas. So...
And yet we seem predisposed to put up with those.
I mean, I feel compelled that I have to address the Trump administration. I have to address what the Nimnongs are doing up there, the swamp monsters are doing up there in Washington, Devil City, because it has an impact on us in Texas. And I feel that in comparison to Barack and Hussein Obama, when it comes to what the administration is doing, I think it's intellectually dishonest to say that things are not better. But I mean, how much lower could you go with Barack and Hussein Obama? I mean, you had to, the next level would be Stalin or Hugo Chavez.
My position on that is simply this. Donald Trump is the first Republican president in my lifetime that's actually begun to undo the damage done by his predecessors. He's the first guy that got out the welding torch and the Bondo and all that stuff and said, all right, let's start fixing this thing or we're going down.
Well,
no other Republican president has done that. They've always gone in and overlaid their own stuff, but they never went back and fixed any damage.
Well, he will be considered a great, but it's not necessarily because he's had any competition over the last few administrations. Okay, a lot of things could be said about a lot of entities out there, but the competition and the comparisons aren't that sterling for him to have to defeat. But I think he will go down. He'll be considered a great, but by no means is he a conservative. He's a populist. Let's understand that.
He's not a conservative. I've never said he was.
He does conservative things.
It's just that there's so many liberal Republicans, it makes him look like a conservative.
Oh, yeah, it makes him look like Goldwater. But
it's because the Republicans, by and large, are so liberal, and the Democrats are so far to the left now that they're almost off the charts. They're almost out of the Overton window.
The 2016 primary, Doc, I said, even if Cruz was elected, then you would have to have a string of Ted Cruzes. You'd have to have 4 or 5 administrations straight of Ted Cruzes in order to try to get this country close to its founding principles.
Yeah, I agree with you, except for I think because of Donald Trump, I don't think it'll take that long. Because I don't think Ted Cruz could have had anywhere near the effect on improving this government and moving us back that Donald Trump has had. I just don't think he could have swung that hammer.
I think we got a long way. I brought some statistics. There's 3 stories that I've been following, Doc, and I don't know which way you wanted to take the program.
Well, lay it on me. You are the guest, sir, and I'm just glad you're here.
There's 3 stories we can take in whatever order you want to take. Number 1, I've been following the border invasion intently. Number 2, I've been following the speaker's race. Mm-hmm. And number 3, I've been following the lack of black engagement by the Republican Party of Texas, in which I'm part of that story personally. So,
well, I am. That was going to come up because I am vitally interested in the Texas speaker's race, and even all of our listeners from out of state. What happens in Texas affects them, and so they are interested whether they know it or not. Mm-hmm. So let's talk about that, because so far I haven't seen anybody announce that I said, yeah, that's my guy.
Well, is that not the story? Is that not the story?
I guess that is the story.
All of you had announced so far are Straussians.
Yeah.
Whether it's Darby, Zerwas, you couldn't get worse than the only person worse than Zerwas would be Sarah Davis. Why doesn't Sarah Davis just go ahead and declare?
You're talking about Dr. John Zerwas? Is that the guy you're talking about?
Yeah, from Katy, Texas. Do you not live in his district now, Doc?
I think I may, and I've gone down to talk to him before, but I couldn't get in to see him.
He is absolutely and Sarah Davis and what's the other loser? Doggone it.
Well, there's still quite a few, so I can see why you might have a little trouble with that. While you're thinking, Sarah Davis, for those of you that don't know, Sarah Davis allegedly is a Republican, but she loves the baby-killing business. She has done everything she can to make sure that we can still do it.
And the neo-morality movement. And every time I'm driving too fast, and I'm driving in West University or I'm driving in her district, River Oaks, and I've seen it 3 times. A Sarah Davis yard sign next to a Beto O'Rourke yard sign.
That should tell you everything you want to know.
Right? You got all these Democrat yard signs, and stuck in the middle of it is a Sarah Davis yard sign.
Well, that tells you everything you need to know right there.
You know?
Of course, once again, we've got little Bobby O'Rourke, the Irish fake Hispanic.
Beto the punk is what I call him.
Yeah, cross-dresser. Guy's got a fairly good criminal record, which would, by the way, if you're a Democrat, those are all accoutrements for
bona fides.
Yeah,
that's bona fides.
But I can't believe anybody's gonna vote for him. And like somebody said on my show the other day, don't bet on Beto.
I think he's gonna get crushed. I mean, we can talk about national politics. We can talk about midterms and all of that, and we can talk about
I'm really interested in the Texas House. I'm really disappointed that we've not seen some solid conservatives announced for speaker.
I mean, and now recently Drew Darby has
There's another good rhino for you. I mean, his rhinosity, I can smell it all the way to here.
How can Travis Clardy out of Nacogdoches, how can he even utter the word Speaker of the House when he got Rule 44'd by Cherokee County and our friend Tammy Blair's?
That really surprised me because, quite frankly, I'd have thought at that point he'd pull in his horns and shut his mouth. But no, he's coming back doubling down.
He mentioned it before he got Rule 44'd, and he's still apparently campaigning or at least making noises out there that he wants it. I mean, that's just ridiculous. Dude, you just got Rule 44'd and should have been Rule 44'd by the other 3 counties in your district. You just got Rule 44'd, and it was a battle royale. I mean, he acted a fool and trying to keep from being Rule 44'd, and he wants to be Speaker. The guy that's leaving the speakership got Rule 44'd.
Yes,
by the state party and his local county party, by his own neighbors in his own backyard, the party that he supported financially. And you, Travis Clardy, think you want to be Speaker of the House?
Yeah. Randy also pointed out that the Republicans in the Pink Palace are completely silent on the removal of the cenotaph, but I don't want to digress just yet. And also, hello to the Rod Pugh Show from out of Las Vegas. Glad to have you. And Annie down in Florida, glad to have you. The Rule 44 thing, for the unindoctrinated, for the new listeners, the Republican Party of Texas put a new rule in that said, if you're not going to act like a Republican, we are not going to allow you to run as a Republican. We expect you to subscribe at least to maybe 80% of the Republican Party platform if you're going to pretend to be a Republican and run. And so what happens with Rule 44 is we basically take a vote and we say, you're not a Republican. We're not going to let you do that.
It's sort of like an impeachment or a grand jury type of thing where you do have to present a case. You have to show where they violated the principles of the party. But just to make a very long process very short, the party at different levels can bring a case against a Republican office holder, party official or public official, and the party can vote to say, no, you can't run on this ticket, or you're not going to get any financial support from us. You're not going to get our endorsement. In fact, we can endorse against you in a primary. So.
And you don't get any Republican money.
No Republican money, no Republican support. Nobody can endorse you. That's part of the Republican Party. Yeah. You cannot be endorsed. So you're pretty much dead in the water. You're pretty much persona non grata.
Well, that that is Rule 44 for you guys that are wondering what we're talking about. So what we want to see in Texas, we would like to see a real solid, honest-to-God constitutional Republican running for that party. And when I think of some of the guys, Jonathan Stickland always comes to mind. And some people might say he's a little too divisive, but I love that guy. I've watched him go toe-to-toe with our former Speaker of the House, and the guy kept trying to shut him down, and Jonathan Stickland just kept coming back. And I got a warm, fuzzy feeling in my heart
well, he's
watching
the most
the way
aggressive.
he did it.
But when you
and he wasn't screaming, he wasn't yelling, he wasn't swearing.
No, he was using the procedures, and he was exposing how debased they are.
Yeah.
But any utterings that I'm hearing as far as Freedom Caucus members potentially announcing, the murmuring is always around Rinaldi, who seems to be the brains,
seems to have some favor.
The brains of the operation, the strategic brains of the operation seems to be Rinaldi. He's just not as vocal, except when those illegal invaders invaded the Pink Dome, and he got in that shoving match.
Yeah.
And Rinaldi, he wasn't playing around. And then Matt Schaefer.
I've heard that name.
Out of Tyler, who really stood out. Was
Matt Rinaldi, Matt Schaefer, two of the four Matts that kind of went up there and impressed us.
Right.
Yeah.
And but Schaefer really shone in the last session with his battle over the bathroom bills and abortion bills and things like that. So there was a lot of utterance. He really stepped out of the fray.
Well, were you astounded about the fact that they couldn't even pass something like to protect our young girls in school locker rooms?
No.
I was astounded that they couldn't at least pass that.
No, remember, it never touched the floor.
No, it never did. It never got out of committee. But Dan Patrick was standing steadfast on that, as conservative as I've ever seen him.
Okay, then you have to make an assessment. Was he genuine in his steadfastness? All right, because let's say, for instance, let's take a look at gun legislation from previous sessions, right, where you knew the House was passing it because they knew the Senate was going to kill it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
All right, so now all of a sudden everybody is a staunch Second Amendment in a Joe Strauss House of Representatives when they know that it has no way of passing in the Senate. Okay. Were these folks up in the Senate being this boisterous, being displeasing to us when they knew that Joe Strauss, Lord Byron Cook, Charlie Cookie Monster Guerin, Todd the Executioner Hunter, they were never going to let that thing. It was never. I don't think it was ever assigned to a committee. I mean, it might have been, but it never was laid out. There was never a hearing on it at all. That's one of the things Schaefer was fighting. They were trying to use procedures on the floor to try to get the bill at least assigned or have the rules suspended to have the bill introduced to the floor.
Yeah, and in that respect, I suppose Lieutenant Dan could have pushed for a little harder on that.
Well, there wasn't very much that he could do. Of course, Greg Abbott didn't use any political capital except for his pet projects. And last session it was the stupid,
which is raising money primarily, $65 million in his war chest, I believe.
Yeah, the stupid Constitutional Convention, which he wrote a book about.
Which we know is a bad idea.
Exactly. So, I don't know, Doc. I mean, I wasn't surprised at all, and that's one of the reasons why he's gone. Strauss,
yes.
Cook, they're gone. Okay, because of this, they got pressured out because of their obstinance to the will of the Texas people. They finally got tired of being stiff-armed, and even the plutocrats said, "Look, you got to go. You're causing too much stink, and people are finding out what we're doing. You got to go."
Yeah. Well, now Frank asked a question. He says, "When do they get kicked out of the party? Period."
Well, you can't do that. It's actually illegal. You can't do that.
Okay, there we answered that question. All right,
that's a freedom of speech kind of thing. That's a First Amendment kind of thing. You really can't do that. But there are things that you can do that can absolutely thwart their efforts.
Yeah, they don't get the endorsement, and they don't get, most importantly, they don't get any Republican donor money.
Correct.
So, all right, we're going to hit this first break. We'll be right back on the Doc Green Show with the Apostle Claver T. Kamau Imani. It's all you, Frank.
The amazing Doc Green Show is on power of proven results.
One of the premier property management companies in Texas, providing below-market rates with above-market amenities and service. Hartman has owned and operated commercial office properties since 1983, offering premium office space at an affordable price by saving businesses a significant amount of money by keeping taxes, utilities, and maintenance low. With over 30 years in commercial leasing in Houston, San Antonio, and Dallas, we have learned exactly what our customers require.
Hartman, the power of proven results.
Managed on Christian principles with a strong dedication to community benevolence. Whether you need 1,000 or 10,000 square foot of office space, Hartman has that space in one of nearly 50 Texas locations.
Hartman, the power of proven results.
Energy-efficient buildings, customer-friendly experts, supporters of conservative causes. A Texas-owned, operated business for 30 years. A proud corporate sponsor of RagingElePhantsRadio.com.
Hartman, the power of proven results.
Visit Hartman online, hi-REIT.com. Call 800-880-2212 or click the ad on RagingElePhantsRadio.com.
Maintaining your home air conditioner is just as important as maintenance on your car. You don't know the big difference there's going to be until you've had the work done. I thought my system was working fine, but now it's better than ever. Galen Beatty did it for me, and he'll do it for you. Good servicing will not only keep your system performing well during the sweltering summers here in Houston, but it will save you money year after year. In my case, it cut my AC power consumption by 20%. Do what I did. Have Galen Beatty set up regular AC maintenance to cut your energy bill and prevent system failure at the worst time. And what's better than being comfortable and saving money? Whether you need a basic tune-up or it's time to put in a new super efficient system, you should call Beatty AC 281-222-9591. That's 281-222-9591 to schedule an AC system tune-up. Beatty AC and Heat. That's B-E-E-D-E AC and Heat.com. BeattyACandHeat.com. In the age of fake news and truly sad times, what do you really need? You need the damn good times. Trustworthy articles written and selected for you by people you know and trust. Go to thedamngoodtimes.com to subscribe to the free daily dose and the full-blown monthly edition and more. Join thousands of liberty-minded patriots like yourself in getting what you really need from the news daily and monthly. It's free. I read it, and so should you.
Hey, Barry the Music Man here for Tejas Smoke Depot. They have everything you need when it comes to smoke. Check out the 150 square foot walk-in humidor filled with a huge selection of fine cigars. Or give them a call at 830-990-1472 and order up what you want. Maybe you like to roll your own. They have it. Maybe you need a gift for a smoker in the family. How about a new pipe? They have a large selection, even a cross-section of great beers in stock. In a hurry, come by and use the drive-thru. Located at 1639 West Highway 290 in Fredericksburg, Texas. Out of town? Visit them at the website, TejasSmokeDepot.com, or call 830-990-1472. That's 830-990-1472. It's smoking.
Want a healthier lifestyle? Do you eat right? Exercise? How about your skincare? Is it clean? We offer clinical grade, botanically based, good for you skincare. Just go to my website, everskin.com, and search for specialist Joanne Green and start shopping. We have a 45-day love it or leave it policy, so there is no reason not to try Everskin today. Need extra cash? Want a side gig? Join us. Your kit and your skincare are both a tax write-off. Everskin.com. Have questions? Email me at joannegreen7@gmail.com. That's JOANNEGREENE, the number 7, gmail.com.
Green Air Technology will sanitize, sterilize, and defunkifies your home. Our treatment utilizes a high-output biocleaner to eradicate bacteria, germs, and airborne pathogens and allergens in any home, vehicle, or facility. So if your facility or home smells funky like a bow-legged monkey, call Green Air Technologies. We are dedicated to eliminating odor and airborne contaminants at home, at work, or even in your vehicle. Now featuring Biosphere. Call Jim Green at 346-254-9217 or go to greenairtech.com. 346-254-9217 or go to greenairtech.com.
Self-Defense Fund is proven to be the most aggressive legal protection membership in America when you use a weapon or assert your civil rights to defend yourself against attackers or abusers. You may or may not beat the ride, but you will beat the charge. In recent cases, our members were defended against false arrest, bullying at school under zero tolerance, dog attack, rights being violated at a free speech rally in support of gun rights, and a dangerous situation with no shots fired. You don't have to be a lawyer to be a member of selfdefensefund.com. All we ask is that you do your own research, and when you do, you will find that no one protects you and your family like selfdefensefund.com. Trial lawyers are standing by. Any weapon, any state, any time. Our members are armed and attorney protected. No processing fees. Become a member of selfdefensefund.com today before it's too late.
Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram, MeWe. What?
Social media got you in a twist? Too busy running your business to run your social media? Let the experts at Marina Bay Marketing run your social media so you can run your business.
Our staff is young. They know everything. Call us for a free consultation at 936-777-4548 or email us at crystal@marinabaymarketing.com.
Whether you need help running your business social media or your campaign social media, Marina Bay Marketing has you covered.
With competitive pricing, our network reaches more than 200,000. So call us 936-777-4548.
The doctor is in.
Yes, indeed. Glad to have all of you on the show on a Monday. And, of course, we got the Apostle Claver T. Kamau Imani. I see the Chaplain Gypsy Robert has joined us. Chaplain Gypsy Robert, if you ever watched the movie, he's kind of like the Dread Pirate Roberts. But anyway, we're always glad to have him on the show. And Sam Elliott, man, I hadn't seen Sam in ages. Glad to have you, Ron. Good to have you out there as well. Jupe Dankworth, one of my very favorite people. And, of course, you can find the link to the Texas Home Educators on the Doc Green YouTube channel. So anyway, we're talking today. We had a special guest, the Apostle Claver T. Kamau Imani, who just... well, basically 5 years ago, you kicked this whole thing off, started something brand new. Nobody had ever done anything like it before. And now we are truly a force to be reckoned with here in Texas. Apostle Claver.
Yeah, that's true. By the Lord's grace. 5 years yesterday. 5 years.
So kicked it off on your birthday. And for good or evil, depending on how you want to look at it, you know, you can't show your face in Austin unless, there's going to be, something's going to happen. Everybody in Austin knows who you are.
People either come to say hello and thank you, or they scatter like roaches, one of the two.
Well, I recall one day there was a particular state lawmaker that she wanted to talk to, and he actually ran from you because he did not want any questions asked.
Yeah, that's our current comptroller, Glenn Hager. He was a state senator. Right?
Did not want to talk to you.
He literally ran through the pink dome to get away from the microphone.
Yeah, that was pretty impressive. But you've been involved in Texas politics for a long time. You do know a lot of the players. I dare say you know probably all of the players on one level or another. So we're talking about Speaker of the House. What can we do to get somebody out of the Texas Freedom Caucus to run for Speaker?
I think it's got to be something strategic going on, Doc, because you can't wait up until the session to declare if you want.
Oh, well, that sounds like something Matt Rinaldi might do. He's a pretty smart guy.
But you're supposed to have this behind the mahogany doors closed caucus, this rhinoceros rhino collective mating session that's supposed to have or whatever. To determine who is supposed to be the consensus Republican nominee for Speaker. Mm-hmm. Hopefully, so believes the strategists who really don't know what they're doing, to force the Democrats to have their own candidate for Speaker, and thus whoever comes out of the caucus, the Republican caucus, everybody is supposed to vote for them and supposed to pledge to vote for whoever the Republican consensus is and shut out any type of Democratic influence. I'm not so sure that's going to happen.
Well, now it is my understanding that they changed the rules this time around to where if the Republicans have the majority, they choose the Speaker of the House with no input from the Democrats whatsoever. Am I misled on that? Am I misinformed?
I don't see how that can happen. The Democrats have a right to vote for their members, their duly elected members of the Texas House of Representatives, so they would cast a vote for whomever, or they can abstain if they wish, but they have the right to cast a vote. They're duly elected members of the Texas House of Representatives. I think the only thing that happened was via the State Republican Executive Committee and via the language of the Texas Republican Party, Texas GOP platform. They are supposed to caucus the state representatives with R's behind their names. A year ago, or immediately after the legislative session was over, they began caucusing about the process of how it would be done outside of the eyeshot of the constituents, how this process would happen inside this caucus, truly behind the scenes, inside baseball, smoke-filled room type of caucusing to see who would be the Republican nominee, one sole nominee for Speaker. And then every Republican is supposed to vote for that person based on pledge. It's not necessarily a rules change for the House. That is a rules change for the Republican caucus. And that goes back to previous attempts in 2011 and 2013 when it was pretty much hijacked by Joe Strauss and the Straussians, where they're gone now. And I think this is going to be just as much a futile attempt as it was in 11 and 13, because who says that someone like a Charlie Cookie Monster Guerin or a Todd Hunter or a Drew Darby or somebody can say, well, I can run the same play that Joe Strauss ran in 09. All I need is 10, 20, whatever Republicans and all the Democrats, and we got the same situation. So there's no way of making them follow whatever procedure, whoever the consensus candidate is. They're not prohibited by House rules for somebody else to run the same play as Joe Strauss did in 09, 11, 13, 14, 15, 17.
And this is what you guys got to know. The way that Joe Strauss got elected was he had all of the Democrats voting for him and a handful of Republicans.
11 in 09.
And that's how he maintained his speakership, and that's why 60% of all the legislation that came out of the Republican House was led by the Democrats.
Right, and 1/3 of all committee chairs go to Democrats, and it was basically sort of like a parliamentarian shared government kind of thing, where he basically was just giving away power to Democrats. Even when there was a supermajority in the House of Representatives in 2011, he still gave a third of the committee chairmanships to the Democrats. And his reasoning was, well, they got votes too. Well, wait a minute. The people of Texas have soundly rejected the Democratic Party. We don't want Democrats having any influence on our lives. We have basically eviscerated them. We've neutered them. We've made them impotent. And then you come along and just freely give them committee power.
Yeah. Well, it's almost like he wasn't really a Republican.
No, he was Satan's errand boy is what he is.
I think we've alternately called him the left hand of the devil. So we had no appreciation for Joe Strauss. I think he's more or less out of at least visible politics, but I somehow suspect he's going to be working very much behind the scenes to continue to push Texas to the left.
He coughed out a lot of cash in the primaries. Yeah. He coughed out a lot of cash in the runoffs. And
he's got a lot of cash.
Yeah, and he promised that he would. He promised even his outgoing resignation press conference is, I'm still going to be a player.
Yeah,
and he did. He coughed up a lot of cash.
Well, we're going to see what happens with that. But speaking of coughing up a lot of cash with an upcoming election, Steve Mostyn, basically the Texas George Soros, passed away last year. That makes me assume that Mostyn money is not going to end up in Democrat Party hands this year. Your thoughts?
I say yes. Most of the donations you saw, Steve and Amber Mostyn, his wife, and his wife Amber is still very much alive.
And so she's going to basically step into the shoes and continue to fund Democrats.
Right.
Okay. The truck driver's on, and he wants to talk about Barack Hussein Obama's speech. Come on in here, truck driver.
You heard that?
I got you. Come on in here. You wanted to talk about Barack Hussein Obama.
Yes, I wanted to bring up a little bit about Barack Hussein Obama's Friday speech, which was very interesting for a little segment of it. It was not one of his happiest days. He seemed pretty upset on a lot of subjects he was covering. Very difficult not to arc-side yourself while listening to him, but, you know, he brought up a subject of how someone, not plural, kept following in his footsteps, shutting down his global warming initiative programs over the years of him being in the office, which I found that to be very interesting. It's been covered and talked about a little bit on a couple talk radios, but nothing in the media. I mean, what's your take on that?
Well, I heard the speech, and here are my thoughts on Barack Hussein Obama's speech. For the first time that I can recall ever having watched him, I thought he was very insecure, very unsure of himself, very unsure of the facts. And what I heard was, I sure hope somebody's buying this crap, because I don't even believe what I'm saying. What are your thoughts on that, truck driver?
It was interesting. Yes, I mean, he was upset. I mean, I've never heard him talking this upset and everything else. You know, not only is Trump going down, shutting down so many programs and projects that he tried getting going, but his rant and raving was amazing on how many programs that he was complaining that were getting shut down right behind him while he was even president.
Well, those were my thoughts. Did you listen to any of that speech?
Yeah, I saw some of it.
Yeah, we're talking with the Apostle Claver T. Kamau Imani here, and of course he was there trying to take credit for everything that Donald Trump has done.
Well, it wasn't so much content that impressed me, right? That made an impression on me. It was his presentation, right? That made an impression on me. First of all, he had no zeal. That was no campaign rally. I understand that the attendance to his speech at campus of University of Illinois was not well attended. The one out in California was equally not well attended. And I think zeal for him, he's been off the scene, and I don't think he has the zeal to come back in here and do it. I don't know who asked him to come in and insert himself. You know, this to me shows that the blue wave is going to be about the size of a kitty, a backyard kitty wading pool, if anything at all. Because if you're pulling out Barack Hussein Obama, and he's not even on the ballot, he's not going to compel anybody to go out and vote on the Democratic side. He may energize Republicans across the nation to go out and vote to make sure. It was a reminder of how truly bad things were before January 20th, 2017. How bad things truly were. Yeah. How disgusting this individual is, his administration, the people within his administration. It brought up a lot of bad memories, how the government literally attacked its own citizens, us namely, personally. But we got friends, Doc, whose lives were ruined by Barack Hussein Obama. Yes. Raging Elephants Radio was put in peril, was endangered because of Obama. He darn near took us down because of Obamacare and how it impacted our venture capitalists. Yeah. So I think and I don't think he had any zeal. If you look at him behind it was more of a very weak policy speech. Nobody was standing on their feet. There was no energy coming from the room. I don't see how he's going to propel any greater turnout on the Democratic Party side. I think he's impotent. His days have gone by. Go out there and sail on Richard Branson's yacht catamaran and leave us alone, okay?
So what do you got to say about that?
Very well said. And then I had one more subject I wanted to hit on quick. Okay. This anonymous so-called person out of the White House who has been making the statements of claims of destroying intelligence, papers, and other communications before it makes it to Trump or on Trump's desk. This is the second time since May that somebody has been busted within the staff of the Oval Office destroying communications that were and are intended for President Donald Trump himself. And this time they have gone big time bragging about it also.
Well, I don't know what to think about that. In a lot of respects, I think it could just very well be a false flag. Something that the New York Times is doing to sow discord in the administration, similar to some of the psychic warfare operations that we've done in the past. For instance, maybe convince one of our enemies, you got a mole in there and he's really hurting you. When in fact, there is no mole, but we do it to just disrupt them and to cause them to have suspicion. What do you think about that?
Well, there was a White House staffer fired last Thursday for destroying papers on Trump's desk. I do believe they are throwing it a whole lot further than and making it much worse than it most likely was. But there was a second White House staffer that has been terminated for destroying papers off of Trump's desk before he could view them.
Well, that's interesting. Now what we want to see is can he get a job with the Democrats for doing that?
Right. But other than that, my censoring is still being harsh. I'm still trying to push, but I mean, a lot of money against me. But I'm not giving up the fight, and it's really been getting interesting again out here.
Well, we keep hearing about all the indictments, and and I hear different numbers of indictments. I've heard anything between 1,500 and 45,000 indictments. So I don't know. 40-something, but estimates top out at 50 is what we're hearing at this point. I don't know. Are they ever even going to get open? But the problem still remains, which I've spoken with you the last time you called. The problem still remains. Where do you find enough honest judges to hear these indictments? And we live in a world right now where who are you going to call? Because you don't know who you can trust. You don't know who's corrupt. You don't know everybody that's involved, and this is a real problem. Now, I will tell you this. I have people that call me from time to time, and I spoke to a guy last night that has intimate acquaintances in the Trump administration. I'll just say that. But he talked about the fact that Donald Trump has to have his own special security detail because he cannot trust the Secret Service.
No, you can't. They're part of the corrupt establishment, no matter how you look at it.
I don't think.
I mean, we talked
I would disagree with
years
that.
ago on how many of these agents just walked because they were looking at breaking constitutional laws. Well, a lot of agents across the board stayed knowing they were breaking these constitutional laws.
Well, I mean, but their mandate is different from, let's say, FBI or the various arms of the Department of Justice and U.S. Attorney's offices and the like. Now, I mean, on your point on the anonymous op-ed, I have a one-word reaction and response: sedition. I do believe the person. I do believe the person exists. I mean, I'm not a big fan of Washington Delaware City. Everybody knows that.
I know you're not.
But this is unconscionable. This is intolerable. This type of behavior. And but as far as the Secret Service is concerned, no, I cannot see how the Secret Service could potentially be a part of the deep state. Their mandate is somewhat different. And I would need to see hardcore evidence to come to the conclusion that the Secret Service is actively participating in sedition. Their mandate is different.
Right, I would agree with you. I mean, they are patriots through and through, and it's such a long list just trying to get involved with Secret Service is my understanding today for a patriot to try to get on presidential detail.
Well, I see your point on that, but then on the other hand, I have to look at how corrupt the Justice Department is. I don't think you can find an honest man in the Justice Department. How
well,
corrupt...
remember, Secret Service is not justice now.
I know it's not.
It's Treasury.
But
right?
Nonetheless, how corrupt all these other government agencies are. The FBI. I think you'd have to almost get down to street agents to find an honest man in the FBI.
I agree, too. I don't think you're going to get down... when you get down, you've got to have 2 or 3 more levels below Bruce Orr to be corrupted to be able to do the things that they've done. But you go out into the field offices, I think there is some integrity left. But having said that, this lesson is still good for us to maintain a healthy cynicism, a healthy suspicion of whomever is operating under the umbrella of government authority, regardless of who it is, whether it's CIA, whether it's FBI, whether it's ATF, any of the alphabet soup, even ICE. Doesn't matter. We still need to have that healthy suspicion of anyone who is attached to government, period.
Well, out of the chat room, the Secret Service has killed one president and shot another one. So,
you just shake your head anymore on so much of this. It's hard to swallow so much of it anymore.
The only way out is out.
Yeah, and there we get back to Texas independence. And truck driver, I know you usually you're not a Texan, but I know you spend a lot of time in Texas. Where are you calling from today?
I'm about 20 miles north of Texas, heading into Texas.
See what I told you? Yeah.
I'll be in Texas here shortly.
Well, you know what Oklahoma is? All Oklahoma is our northernmost county. So we can't say
the buffer zone from the north.
Yeah, I mean we can't. It's just part of our moat, But we can't say it's our largest county because we're sitting in our largest county.
Right.
But it's our northernmost county. I ain't got no problem with Okies.
Ain't never met an Okie that I didn't like. So anyway, well, I appreciate. I, of course, happen to know a truck driver doesn't live in Oklahoma either. He just gets around. But anyway, we're always glad when you take time to call in on the show.
Nice to meet you, truck driver.
No problem. Glad to meet you, too. God bless you all. And keep up what you're doing. I mean, I really appreciate it. And, boy, I know all Americans that listen to you appreciate this time of day.
We love it.
God bless everybody. Have a blessed week.
We love our work. We love the Lord, and you stay safe out there, truck driver.
Amen. Well, we're gonna hit a quick break. We'll be right back, and we got a lot more for you. We're just getting started on the Doc Green Show on a Monday.
The amazing Doc Green Show is on the air.
You've just defended yourself with a gun. There were multiple assailants, and you were really concerned about your legal jeopardy and the resulting media coverage. Was deadly force justified? In your town, the politics of self-defense is not favorable, but at least you're alive and your family is protected. Fortunately, you have Self-Defense Fund, a comprehensive litigation membership backing you on appeals, legal expenses, court costs, and more. Up to $1 million per incident and unlimited attorney cost per member. Discover selfdefensefund.com for yourself. Any weapon, any state, anytime.
Hey, Barry the Music Man here for Tejas Smoke Depot. They have everything you need when it comes to smoke. Check out the 150 square foot walk-in humidor filled with a huge selection of fine cigars. Or give them a call at 830-990-1472 and order up what you want. Maybe you like to roll your own. They have it. Maybe you need a gift for a smoker in the family. How about a new pipe? They have a large selection, even a cross-section of great beers in stock. In a hurry, come by and use the drive-thru. Located at 1639 West Highway 290 in Fredericksburg, Texas. Out of town? Visit them at the website, TejasSmokeDepot.com, or call 830-990-1472. That's 830-990-1472. It's smoking.
Hartman, the power of proven results.
One of the premier property management companies in Texas, providing below market rates with above market amenities and service. Hartman has owned and operated commercial office properties since 1983, offering premium office space at an affordable price by saving businesses a significant amount of money by keeping taxes, utilities, and maintenance low. With over 30 years in commercial leasing in Houston, San Antonio, and Dallas, we have learned exactly what our customers require.
Hartman, the power of proven results.
Managed on Christian principles with a strong dedication to community benevolence. Whether you need 1,000 or 10,000 square foot of office space, Hartman has that space in one of nearly 50 Texas locations.
Hartman, the power of proven results.
Energy efficient buildings, customer friendly experts, supporters of conservative causes. A Texas owned and operated business for 30 years. A proud corporate sponsor of RagingElePhantsRadio.com.
Hartman, the power of proven results.
Visit Hartman online, hi-REIT.com. Call 800-880-2212 or click the ad on RagingElePhantsRadio.com.
Want a healthier lifestyle? Do you eat right? Exercise? How about your skincare? Is it clean? We offer clinical grade, botanically based, good for you skincare. Just go to my website, everskin.com, and search for specialist Joanne Green and start shopping. We have a 45-day love it or leave it policy, so there is no reason not to try Everskin today. Need extra cash? Want a side gig? Join us. Your kit and your skincare are both a tax write-off. Everskin.com. Have questions? Email me at joannegreen7@gmail.com. That's JoanneGreene7@gmail.com.
Maintaining your home air conditioner is just as important as maintenance on your car. You don't know the big difference there's going to be until you've had the work done. I thought my system was working fine, but now it's better than ever. Galen Beatty did it for me, and he'll do it for you. Good servicing will not only keep your system performing well during the sweltering summers here in Houston, but it will save you money year after year. In my case, it cut my AC power consumption by 20%. Do what I did. Have Galen Beatty set up regular AC maintenance to cut your energy bill and prevent system failure at the worst time. And what's better than being comfortable and saving money? Whether you need a basic tune-up or it's time to put in a new super efficient system, you should call Beatty AC 281-222-9591. That's 281-222-9591 to schedule an AC system tune-up. Beatty AC and Heat. That's BEEDE AC and Heat.com. BeattyACandHeat.com. In the age of fake news and truly sad times, what do you really need? You need the damn good times. Trustworthy articles written and selected for you by people you know and trust. Go to thedamngoodtimes.com to subscribe to the free daily dose and the full-blown monthly edition and more. Join thousands of liberty-minded patriots like yourself in getting what you really need from the news daily and monthly. It's free. I read it, and so should you.
Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram, MeWe. What?
Social media got you in a twist? Too busy running your business to run your social media? Let the experts at Marina Bay Marketing run your social media so you can run your business.
Our staff is young. They know everything. Call us for a free consultation at 936-777-4548 or email us at crystal@marinabaymarketing.com.
Whether you need help running your business social media or your campaign social media, Marina Bay Marketing has you covered.
With competitive pricing, our network reaches more than 200,000. So call us 936-777-4548.
Green Air Technology will sanitize, sterilize, and defunkifies your home. Our treatment utilizes a high-output biocleaner to eradicate bacteria, germs, and airborne pathogens and allergens in any home, vehicle, or facility. So if your facility or home smells funky like a bow-legged monkey, call Green Air Technologies. We are dedicated to eliminating odor and airborne contaminants at home, at work, or even in your vehicle. Now featuring Biosphere. Call Jim Green at 346-254-9217 or go to greenairtech.com. 346-254-9217 or go to greenairtech.com.
doctor is in.
Oh, yeah, the doctor's in. Oh, yeah, the doctor's in. Look, guys, Annie needs your prayers. She's not having a good day today. She damaged herself. So say a prayer of healing for Annie. We're always glad to help her out as best we can over there on the dusty back roads of Florida, unless, of course, it's raining, and then I understand it's the sloggy, muddy back roads of Florida. But nonetheless, got the Apostle Claver T. Kamau Imani here on our 5th anniversary show. And
just happenstance. I mean, you just say, Claver, I want you to come in Monday, blah, blah, blah. And
yeah, it was sort of spur of the moment, wasn't it?
Yeah, and he said, yeah, I want you to come in. All right, no problem, Doc.
Well, I hadn't had you. I've been wanting to talk to you for a while anyway about some of these things, so we're doing it. But the border is still a problem. It's porous as ever. And, of course, my favorite chant is build that wall.
That's what I want to talk about.
But everybody's trying to prevent the wall from being built, especially Mitch Chinese Money McConnell and Paul Adias for Democrat Ryan.
Yeah, but I have my suspicions about Trump and his motivations as well. And when I share these numbers with folks,
oh, now don't make me mad. Now you know Don's my man, but go right ahead.
Let's hear it. But see, here's the deal. You know, I know. I've said this on my program. He gets a lot of mess from big corporate media and from everybody. We know that 95% of the coverage of him is negative. We know that, right? And so I can see why there are those who are, the Trumpkins out there that are a little bit sensitive when it comes to criticism of the Donald. I get it. But I'm criticizing him from the right. I'm criticizing him from a liberty perspective. I'm criticizing him from a national sovereignty, national security, position. It's an invasion on the border, and it needs to be stopped. And we can't wait for a wall to be built.
Well, you're right about that.
Okay, we need it now. And he's not. Beauregard Sessions, Kristen Nielsen, I know she's a good-looking woman and everything, but all three of them, in my view, get a F- when it comes to border security. And the numbers show it. And when Donald Trump is standing up there pounding his chest about border security, and people are chanting, you said, build the wall, build the wall. Well, I've got the numbers that say the chant should be, send in the Marines, send in the Marines. We can't wait for the wall to be built. When you have these types of numbers that are coming into Texas, I'm not even talking about New Mexico, Arizona, and California. I don't give a rat's toenail about them. I care about Texas.
Read us some of those numbers. The Apostle Claver D. Kamau Imani joining us today. And by the way, hello, Tom Glass. Glad to see you, and Lillian and Karen, and thanks for joining us, James.
What's up, Tom?
And Becky. Glad to have all of you on here. Becky and I have had a little running dialogue in the background. I may get around to playing that video she sent me too, but go right ahead with those numbers.
Okay, so I'm going to take a little time. I have the number. Now, there's 5 border sectors in Texas. And we know, we have friends of ours, Doc, that are members of the Texas Border Volunteers.
Yeah, they go down there and chase those illegal aliens through the brush at night.
The invaders, with their snake boots on.
Yeah.
There's 5 sectors in Texas. You got Big Bend, Del Rio, El Paso, Laredo, and the Rio Grande Valley. Now, I'm not going to give you the numbers each individually over the last few months, but I'm going to read the numbers by month since October 1st, 2017, which was when FY 2018 began. And we're just talking about Texas, and we're just talking about apprehensions, which means they've come into the state.
Right.
All right? Apprehensions, they are here.
They broke the border. They are here.
They are here, all right?
Yeah.
October 2017, total number of apprehensions, 15,523.
Wow.
November 2017, 17,673 total apprehensions. December 2017, 17,278. January 2018, 15,015. February 2018, 16,163. March 2018, 22,740. I get this from the ICE.
You're hurting me.
These are the numbers from ICE. This is ICE's website. The numbers from ICE on a month-to-month breakdown. And I'm just giving you just the 60,000-foot view.
Yeah.
April 2018, 24,289. May 2018, 26,436. June 2018, 22,708.
Well, let me ask you this
Wait,
question.
one more.
Okay.
July, this is the latest number. August won't come out until later this month.
Yeah,
okay.
obviously.
20,554. The total so far for FY 2018 with 2 months left, 198,364 apprehensions. That's an average of 19,836 per month, 661 per day, 27.5 per hour, essentially one every 2 minutes. Now, what the Border Patrol has told us, the National Border Patrol Council, what is his name? Jared, doggone it, I forgot his name. The president of the National Border Patrol Council was on Fox and admitted on Fox that it's a 50-50 proposition catching those that cross the border. So in other words, if 200,000 have been apprehended, 200,000 have gotten in scot-free, end zone dance, not a hand was laid on them. Plus you have still catch and release in full force. So essentially every minute that we speak, Doc, literally every minute that we're speaking right now, an invader has crossed into Texas. At 1 per minute is what this works out to. We don't have time for any kind of wall. And my suspicions about Donald Trump as a builder is he wants his name on something. If the wall ever gets built, every quarter mile, there's going to be a Donald Trump plaque on it. Because he's probably not going to be on Mount Rushmore, but for 500 years, that Trump wall is going to be up. That's going to be his monument to himself. And we're being invaded. 198,000, Doc. 156,000 invaded Normandy. 156,000 invaded Normandy.
This is an invasion.
All right? At the heights of the surges in Iraq and Afghanistan, how many American soldiers were in theater? 250,000. 150,000 in Iraq, 100,000 in Afghanistan. At the height, and we're getting these kind of numbers, this is just Texas apprehensions, and you have to double it.
Well, at one point in time, unless they've gotten really good compared to what they used to be, they used to say they caught on the average, they felt like about 10%.
Well, Dan Patrick, who I have issue with, Greg Abbott, who I have issue with, Ken Paxton, who I have issue with when it comes to this invasion.
All three.
Okay? Dan Patrick is running radio ads saying it's a 4-to-1 ratio. I'm taking the conservative number based on the president of the National Border Patrol Council.
Yeah, Brandon Judd. I think
Brandon Judd is his name, right. And he says it's a 50-50 proposition. Listen, Donald Trump is up there in his rallies pounding his chest about $700 billion last year for national security improvement. Another $716 billion he just signed, he's pounding his chest. That's $1.4 trillion for national security, and we're being conquered by toddlers in dirty diapers.
Yeah. The dirty diaper invasion.
That's what's happening. We're being conquered by toddlers in dirty diapers without a shot being fired. This is a national security issue.
Well,
forget building the damn wall. Get the Marines on the border and shut this thing down.
I can't argue that with you. I completely agree, because that's what the military is for.
I'm not going to give Donald Trump a pass, and I'm not going to give Greg Abbott, Dan Patrick, the state of Texas spending $1.8 billion on border security, and these guys campaigning on it and fundraising on it, when the facts is $1.8 billion is 0.5% of total Texas governmental expenditures. What does the Lord say? Where your treasure is where you find your heart also. They have no heart, no desire to shut down the border. Quit pounding your chest. Quit deceiving the people of Texas like you're doing something. You're betraying us. You're committing treason. You are violating the oath of office that you took. Back in 2015, Greg Abbott says in his speech to the joint session of the Texas legislature, his emergency priorities. He says the number one priority for a government is to protect its people, to protect its borders. Well, then why was it the fourth emergency item? If it's the number one responsibility of Texas government, then why is border security your fourth item, and your first item was universal pre-K, Bernie style, Hillary Clinton style?
Yeah. Something which he never campaigned on, I know, because I went to at least 5 of his campaign events. Never mentioned it.
But that was his first. That was his first item. That was the first thing on his agenda. His first legislative session in 2015.
Yeah.
Okay. And border security was number 4. All right. So I hold Trump responsible. I hold Sessions responsible. And when you look at the deportation numbers, it's a 4-to-1 ratio. Deportations, apprehensions versus deportations is a 4-to-1 ratio. That's bailing water with a coffee cup. That's what that is.
When the last time I got a chance to question the governor on this, I asked him, why, you're spending 0.5% of the Texas budget on Border Patrol, and he gave me this long-winded diatribe about, how they're arresting all these guys and putting them in jail. And
no, they're not. Like I said, it's like bailing water with a teacup, okay? And I put it squarely on Donald Trump as well. I think he's playing politics. He's not shutting down the border because he wants the wall. He wants the argument for the wall. He wants his Trump wall. We don't have time for a wall. Shut the border down.
I want the
and
wall.
Get these invaders out of here.
But I agree with you. We should put the military on the border now.
Right now.
This. The Doc Green plan has always called for machine gun towers every quarter of a mile.
You called for 50 cal machine gun nest every quarter mile. That's what you did.
And I said, you're only going to have to kill a couple of them. And
but
the
look
word's
at these
going to get
numbers,
out,
Doc.
and that'll stop it.
Look at the Big Bend region. Mm-hmm. Big Bend. This is wilderness. This is like trying to traverse, the big thicket here in East Texas, right? And total, you had 6,914 people apprehended coming through the Big Bend region. Look at these children.
That's horrible.
Look at children. FY 2018, the unaccompanied children, 833 traversed the Big Bend region and apprehended. Total children for FY 2018 with 2 months left, 28,118. See, all these open border advocates out there, these bleeding heart rhinos out there, I don't think they have any idea the numbers. They think it's a couple of thousand a year, 3,000 or 4,000, maybe 10,000 a year. No, 200,000?
I don't think they care what the numbers are.
It'll be 500,000. It will be 500,000 that have invaded
Texas. But that is
huge.
I mean, that's a huge number, which kind of supports the theory. We got 27 million legal residents in the state of Texas, and we've got 12 million illegal residents in the state of Texas.
Well, you have 1 million documented just between Dallas and Fort Worth alone. I mean, please get them out of here. What would it do just for traffic? I mean,
yes, that would improve traffic. That's a whole nother deal. But, I want to know, I think the Doc Green plan actually makes a lot of sense. And I think if anybody was serious about defending our border, which you've just proven they're not, but I think if anybody is serious, it's the only reasonable plan.
Doc, this is why I'm so furious about the politics. This is why, I'm really, I've never been a Trumpkin. I've never been a Trump fan. But when the truth is the truth, and when you're sitting up there saying we're going to spend $1.4 trillion on modernizing the military, why? When the country is literally being conquered by toddlers in dirty diapers. Literally being conquered. I mean, it's still a catch and release process.
Yeah.
And so if Brandon Judd is telling us it's a 50-50 proposition, that if 200,000 they've apprehended, and another 200,000 they haven't laid a hand on, that's another 400,000 that have been let loose in Texas.
This is serious problem.
We're not talking about New Mexico. We're not talking about Arizona. We're not talking about California. We're talking about just the 5 border sectors in Texas. And then Brandon Judd tells us that not even 20%, 18% of assets are being used in the Laredo sector, in McAllen.
Yeah.
They're only using 20% of the resources in order to be able to stop them in the Laredo sector. Rio Grande Valley, it's a wide open barn door.
Well, you and I both went down to the RGV a couple of years ago, and we heard about this, and we spent some time. And that's also where we found out that during the Barack Hussein Obama administration, they were bringing in those big MD-80 airliners, loading them up with illegal aliens, and flying them all over Incarnation.
Absolutely seeding them, SEEDING,
seeding them
in different red precincts in order to weaken the political power in those particular precincts.
And there was no way that anybody could check those guys for infectious diseases or whatnot. I got Thomas Dwayne Smith calling in here. Thomas Dwayne Smith, come on in.
Hey, Doc. Hi, Apostle. Haven't chatted with you in about 3 years, but it's all good.
I'm still breathing.
So, yeah. You disappeared on me from Facebook, but that's okay. I know you're still there. Okay, so here's what I want to say about the whole border security thing. You have Texas, deep red state of Texas. So my question to you all is this. If you all see that the problem isn't being dealt with effectively, maybe it's time for the American-loving citizens of Texas to do something about it. And honestly, I say to hell with those individuals who aren't supporting ICE. There are probably more gun owners, lawful, legally gun owners in the state of Texas than any other state in America.
We've been wanting militia for a long time, bro. We've been calling for militia down on the border. Hey, I went as so far in Dirty Diaper Invasion 1.0, Dirty Diaper Invasion 2.0. I said militia should be citizen arresting, house arresting members of the Texas legislature because of their treasonous acts, because they were more concerned with assisting the border invaders than they were their own constituents. Greg Abbott refused to call special sessions Dirty Diaper Invasion 1.0, Dirty Diaper Invasion 2.0. He would not call a special session to deal with the border invasion. Any chatter about special session was being led by the Democrats, by the jackasses, their official mascot since 1828, okay? They were leading the chatter about a special session, putting pressure on Greg Abbott to call one to see how much money they were going to give to the illegal invaders. That was the purpose of the special session.
Dang.
Oh, right.
Oh, yeah, I'm following you. I'm following you, man. You're right. Militia, if militia needs to be done, militia needs to go down there and deal with it.
Well, that would solve the problem.
Right. But we had that, Doc. When we first started, Doc, how many conversations did you have back in 2013, 2014 with actual militia members that went down to the border and government officers persecuted them, prosecuted them, hounded them?
Absolutely.
All right.
Yeah.
A Rusty who basically got chased off his land. You talk to people. What was that guy's name that he had a felony? He had a felony arrest.
Yeah,
Massey 20 years ago, and they hounded him. They
did. They put him back in jail for some sort of alleged violation, which I don't believe he violated the law in any way, but he was down there simply standing up for the law, standing up for righteousness, and he said...
At the invitation of a private landowner, Rusty, what was Rusty Montes?
Rusty Montes,
yeah. Montes invited the militia to come in to protect his private property and ranch because the criminal illegal invaders were coming in there and threatening his life and doing damage to his property. They were threatening his life, and he had close calls numerous times.
He actually, one night, in fact, he called in on the show last year. He said, I'm sitting here in my truck. I don't have any air conditioning in my house. It's 2 a.m. I'm in my truck with the AC trying to get a little sleep. And these guys come across the river, 2 guys, 2 gals. They jerk my truck door open. They're going to kick me out and take my truck. And he said the only reason that didn't happen is because I just swung my shotgun over there. And
yeah, Rusty is a private property owner, a ranch that's been in his family for multiple generations, probably been down there since before the Alamo. And he invited private militia to come in, basically private security force, to come in and help him protect his property. And government agents chased them off.
Yeah, well, government agents came in and set up an incident to create fake...
Framed them.
Yeah, framed them to create a fake deal in order to do that. And,
well,
go ahead, Tom.
Let me say this, because you know what? This is where I'm at. It's time to use the tactics that the left uses against us. Because let me break it down like this. And Doc, you and I talked about this when you interviewed me. And Apostle, you know this. Hispanics, especially from Mexico, are some of the most racist and hate-filled individuals toward Black Americans that I have ever seen. But yet you see Black leftists championing their cause of the illegal immigrant, while those same said illegal immigrants don't do nothing to support causes that are affecting Black Americans. How many Hispanic illegals do you see up there protesting for justice reform in Chicago over the deaths of many Black people? You know, you don't hear any. The only thing you hear is about how in Compton, California, MS-13 and other low-life Hispanic pieces of trash gangs are killing Black people and running them out of neighborhoods that for generations traditionally have been all Black. I'm sick and tired of the left muzzling conservatives to be politically correct when it comes to other racist minority groups. White people aren't even the most racist people in America anymore. It's Hispanic and other minority groups who are so filled with hate and rage. All you have to do is turn on any news channel any day to see how full of hate they are, led by groups like La Raza, CARE, and whatever other fringe leftist. I'm sorry, but I'm ticked off as well as
you. ought to be. You ought to be. You ought to be. You ought to be. The one demographic, the one community that gets damaged the most by the invasion is the Black American community. It's the most damaged, and you know the congressional Black communists, the congressional Black criminals, Black jackasses have sold out their community a long time ago on several issues, numerous issues, not just the border invasion. I mean, you have a right to be infuriated. You have a right to express yourself and get that heat off your chest. You bet you do.
Well, it's been a problem for a long time, and I've personally witnessed the racism of the Hispanic people toward Blacks. I mean, I got to see it firsthand, front row seat. I was blown away by it. But it's a real problem. I still think, now Tommy Attaway said we don't have enough military to secure our borders. I still think if you implement the Doc Green plan, that is a machine gun nest every quarter of a mile.
We have enough militia, Tommy. We have enough militia.
Yeah, if we had the militia,
we have enough militia, Tommy Attaway. U.S. Army captain, retired, official Raging Elephants radio historian. We have enough militia. Militia went down there. And that's the whole point of the militia.
Yes.
If the military,
it's called out in the Constitution.
You got that right. That's the essence of the Second Amendment. If the government won't do the job, the people have a right to do the job. If the people feel threatened, forget civility, civilization. Mandates that the militia go down there and defend ourselves.
That's it. It's in there. It's in the Constitution.
If all of us can agree it's an invasion, what have I said for years, Doc? What is the purpose of invasion? Conquest. To take control of your government, take control of your economy, and more importantly, take control of your culture. And is that not what's happening? Press 1 to hear this message in English.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. But there's the lesson, by the way, in Genesis 11. One language, one mind. You can't stop a people like that. But if you're going to continue to diversify, and I've said it many times, as a pilot, I can't land at any airport in the world unless I can speak English. It doesn't matter where I land. Beijing, China, you have to speak English when you land in Beijing, China. One language. Right. That is what makes the difference. Thomas Dwayne Smith, are you going to be coming up for the free speech rally on the 22nd at Austin?
You better believe it. I will see you there.
Well, I'm going to be there.
They may or may not let me speak, but I know I'm doing the opening prayer. I asked Jen if I could speak again, but she said the slots were filled, but I am doing the opening prayer, so I will be there.
Looking forward to seeing that, Thomas Dwayne Smith. And I got to hit a break. And so we're going to be right back after the break. Please support my sponsors. That's how I stay on the air. We'll be right back with the Doc Green Show and the Apostle Claver T. Kamau Imani.
The amazing Doc Green Show is on the air.
Sanitize, sterilize, and defunkifies your home. Our treatment utilizes a high-output biocleaner to eradicate bacteria, germs, and airborne pathogens and allergens in any home, vehicle, or facility. So if your facility or home smells funky like a bow-legged monkey, call Green Air Technologies. We are dedicated to eliminating odor and airborne contaminants at home, at work, or even in your vehicle. Now featuring Biosphere. Call Jim Green at 346-254-9217 or go to greenairtech.com. 346-254-9217 or go to greenairtech.com. Hey, Barry the Music Man here for Tejas Smoke Depot. They have everything you need when it comes to smoke. Check out the 150 square foot walk-in humidor filled with a huge selection of fine cigars. Or give them a call at 830-990-1472 and order up what you want. Maybe you like to roll your own. They have it. Maybe you need a gift for a smoker in the family. How about a new pipe? They have a large selection, even a cross-section of great beers in stock. In a hurry, come by and use the drive-thru. Located at 1639 West Highway 290 in Fredericksburg, Texas. Out of town? Visit them at the website, TejasSmokeDepot.com, or call 830-990-1472. That's 830-990-1472. It's smoking.
Hartman, the power of proven results.
One of the premier property management companies in Texas, providing below-market rates with above-market amenities and service. Hartman has owned and operated commercial office properties since 1983, offering premium office space at an affordable price by saving businesses a significant amount of money by keeping taxes, utilities, and maintenance low. With over 30 years in commercial leasing in Houston, San Antonio, and Dallas, we have learned exactly what our customers require.
Hartman, the power of proven results.
Managed on Christian principles with a strong dedication to community benevolence. Whether you need 1,000 or 10,000 square foot of office space, Hartman has that space in one of nearly 50 Texas locations.
Hartman, the power of proven results.
Energy-efficient buildings, customer-friendly experts, supporters of conservative causes. A Texas-owned and operated business for 30 years. A proud corporate sponsor of RagingElePhantsRadio.com.
Hartman, the power of proven results.
Visit Hartman online, hi-REIT.com. Call 800-880-2212 or click the ad on RagingElePhantsRadio.com.
Want a healthier lifestyle? Do you eat right? Exercise? How about your skincare? Is it clean? We offer clinical grade, botanically based, good for you skincare. Just go to my website, everskin.com, and search for specialist Joanne Green and start shopping. We have a 45-day love it or leave it policy, so there's no reason not to try Everskin today. Need extra cash? Want a side gig? Join us. Your kit and your skincare are both a tax write-off. Everskin.com. Have questions? Email me at joannegreen7@gmail.com. That's JOANNEGREENE, 7@gmail.com.
You just defended yourself with a gun. You've been booked for manslaughter, but it was self-defense. You go to court. Your bail is set at $100,000, but the legal defense you subscribe to doesn't cover that much. You still have legal jeopardy ahead, which would wind up costing even more money and time, and now you're beginning to really worry. Self-Defense Fund provides bail up to $100,000. We are a comprehensive litigation membership backing you on appeals, legal expenses, court costs, and more. Discover selfdefensefund.com for yourself. Any weapon, any state, anytime.
Maintaining your important as maintenance on your car. You don't know the big difference there's going to be until you've had the work done. I thought my system was working fine, but now it's better than ever. Galen Beatty did it for me, and he'll do it for you. Good servicing will not only keep your system performing well during the sweltering summers here in Houston, but it will save you money year after year. In my case, it cut my AC power consumption by 20%. Do what I did. Have Galen Beatty set up regular AC maintenance to cut your energy bill and prevent system failure at the worst time. And what's better than being comfortable and saving money? Whether you need a basic tune-up or it's time to put in a new super efficient system, you should call Beatty AC 281-222-9591. That's 281-222-9591 to schedule an AC system tune-up. Beatty AC and Heat. That's B-E-E-D-E ACandHeat.com. BeattyACandHeat.com. In the age of fake news and truly sad times, what do you really need? You need the damn good times. Trustworthy articles written and selected for you by people you know and trust. Go to thedamngoodtimes.com to subscribe to the free daily dose and the full-blown monthly edition and more. Join thousands of liberty-minded patriots like yourself in getting what you really need from the news daily and monthly. It's free. I read it, and so should you.
Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram, MeWe. What?
Social media got you in a twist? Too busy running your business to run your social media? Let the experts at Marina Bay Marketing run your social media so you can run your business.
Our staff is young. They know everything. Call us for a free consultation at 936-777-4548 or email us at crystal@marinabaymarketing.com.
Whether you need help running your business social media or your campaign social media, Marina Bay Marketing has you covered.
With competitive pricing, our network reaches more than 200,000. So call us 936-777-4548.
The doctor is in.
Oh, yeah, the doctor is in. And just as an aside, I've got up there right now Smile Unique right here in Katy. And that's Dr. Kumar there. And you see Sherry, that real cute blonde right there. I just wanted to let you guys know that I broke a tooth last Friday, and I went in, and they hooked me up. They got me in quickly. They fixed it and solved all the problems. So once again, Dr. Kumar and Sherry over there at Smile Unique right here in Katy, Texas, 281-616-7262. You should call them up, 281-616-7262, and say, why aren't you advertising on the Doc Green Show? So 281-616-7262. You probably heard the ad for Galen Beatty there with BDAC while we were on break. And the Apostle also uses Galen Beatty.
I had to call him today. I literally had to call him today. The drainage pipe on my AC got clogged again. It's happened several times before. And I had to call him up. Hey, Galen, man, you know, he says, well, shoot me a picture so I can see what it looks like, and either I can come over there, or if it's easy enough, I can tell you what to do and save time and the whole 9 yards.
Great guy.
He's awesome. Galen is absolutely, totally awesome. He's probably one of the best HVAC guys I've ever had to interact with. You know, one of these guys that doesn't disappear. He's there for the long haul. And to say that his prices are fair is quite accurate. He's not gonna rip you off.
No, I love Galen Beatty, BDAC, and Galen Beatty's a patriot. He loves this country, and that's why he supports Liberty Radio, and I just wanted to bring that up there for you guys to see. There's his website, but he loves liberty, he loves this country, he loves the Constitution. He would like to see this country restored to its original constitutional roots, and he's very serious about that.
He'll go anywhere and serve. I mean, if you're in driving distance, you know, from the H-Town area, I mean, he goes all over Southeast Texas and beyond. So just because you may not be in one of the orbiting counties of Harris, if you're anywhere close and you're having HVAC problems, serious HVAC problems, he helped put in half a unit for me. That's the guy you want to go to. I mean, that's if I have any HVAC problems, if Doc has any HVAC problems, it's Galen on speed dial.
That's it. And I just wanted to give him a little extra plug there. He writes the check every month, guys. And I can't stress how important it is to have somebody that's willing to do that. And so I'm just asking you to give him his money back. Call him instead of some liberal leftist guy that's going to be supporting Hillary Clinton or something, you know? So now you know. Chuck Fontenot's a Cajun, but he somehow ended up in Arkansas. I don't know how that works. But he said, we got problems on both borders. Canada does its part as well.
Yeah, but it doesn't impact. Chuck. He's one of our cousins from Louisiana, and he's stuck up there in Razorback country. But which we're going to have to take Arkansas by default when Texas becomes an independent state again.
That's right.
I don't think the problems on the northern border impact us as much as what we see from the border invasion from the Triangle countries. You look at these numbers, Doc, of those leaving the Triangle Central American countries, and it's like, how many people could possibly be left? Last person turn out the lights. They're all headed towards Texas.
Yeah.
We look at these numbers. And I didn't bring those numbers with me, Doc, but the impact on their economies, the positive impact on their economies because of the border invasion are astonishing. Between 20% of their GDP comes from the border invasion. That's Mexico and all the Central American countries. 20% of their GDP. I worked out some numbers. If we had some sort of remittance tax at 50%, you're putting a 10% dent in their economies and their GDPs. Just a few percentage points on what Mexico pays for the wall. I mean, that's how you pay for the wall, right?
Well, yeah, this paying for the wall has never been a problem. The rhinos have been a problem.
Right.
And that's been a big part of it. And Tommy Attaway agreed with you. This is a militia mission. He said obstacles have to be kept under observation to be effective, uninterrupted, about an hour's worth of work to clear a path through a typical minefield. That's in response to Frank saying, how about a minefield? I don't like minefields. I think they're a really bad idea. I think the Doc Green plan, live intelligence, a tower every quarter of a mile, a lot cheaper, by the way, than building the wall. And you only have to kill a couple or three of these illegal aliens. Once the word gets out, it changes everything. They'll quit coming once they realize you're serious, don't you think?
Yeah, but we also got the reports from Massey and others about the corruption in certain sectors of Border Patrol themselves. So you got to clean that out as well.
Well, yes.
But
he testified that he did see Border Patrol agents taking bribes.
Correct. And they were tracking them versus tracking the illegal invaders.
Yeah.
So I think, and all polling data, Doc, shows that the number one issue, not just for Texans, but apparently from the Aleutian Islands to Bangor, Maine, is the border invasion. But they won't do anything about it. They're using it for politics. Meanwhile, we're being killed and conquered.
Well, yes, and of course, as Chuck Fontenot pointed out in the chat room, we know for a fact, thanks to our good friend Mary Halls, 6 out of 10 of these people coming across the border are other than Mexican. They are Chinese, they are Pakistani, but they're not Mexicans. Well, they're coming across our southern border as well.
I think it was a rancher, a property owner in Arizona that set up cameras along the trail.
Yes.
Did you see that video?
Yeah, I did. In fact, I've been going to play it one day on a show, and I never quite get around to it. But yeah, it's incredible.
It's like it's unedited, man.
It's
like
a gosh darn parade.
Yeah, man. It looks like a San Fran Freak Show gay pride parade walking through there. So many people, man. It's crazy. Just traipsing in with their camo. I mean, just. And people think it's just a few thousand. And even when you look at the babies, the unaccompanied children coming into Texas, 28,000 plus.
Oh, that's huge.
And then you have the likes of Eddie Lucio III. Eddie Lucio, State Representative Eddie.
State Rep, yeah.
Did you see that story we posted on Raging Elephants Radio? This guy is getting paid to house these illegal invader babies, these dirty diaper invaders.
Yeah, making money on it.
He's making $60 million a year on it. $60 million.
Good God.
The Jane Doe that they're talking about, the abortion Jane Doe, the teenage illegal invader that came in, went to the Supreme Court, was housed in Eddie Lucio III's shelter down there in the Brownsville area. He's got 3 or 4 of those things, and it's all federal money.
Fire him.
It's all federal money. He's a state rep from the area. He's got 3 or 4 of those shelters down there. Yvonne Larson worked with me on that particular story.
Yeah.
$60 million he's getting in government contracts. $60 million.
That's
To house the dirty diaper invaders. And he's a state rep under the Pink Dome.
Well, once again, if our governor, and dare I say our lieutenant governor, was serious about Border Patrol, we would solve this problem. We would say, look, we love the idea of the wall. It's going to be a while before that happens, so let's go ahead and get down there and let's put the militia on the border and pass a law that says any militiaman that has to kill an invader, there's not going to be a trial. Am I going too far?
No, the question that's within my head is, well, that's why we started Raging Elephants Radio. That's why the amazing Doc Green show exists, is to inform the electorate, to inform the population that this is going on. I don't think they understand the magnitude of the problem. The Trump administration isn't sharing it with them.
No.
The Abbott administration isn't sharing the information with them. They can sit there and say in a 7-year period there were 600,000 plus crimes committed against Texans. But what about the invasion that's going on a daily basis? As we speak, the numbers show 1 per minute is traversing the Rio Grande.
Well, that's completely unacceptable in my eyes.
1 a minute is traversing the Rio Grande and entering into Texas illegally. 1 per minute. These numbers that come directly off of ICE's website.
And those are conservative numbers, once again, so it could be more than that.
It could be more.
And once again, I say, look, if you come here, and I don't know if you read the article in the Chronicle about our last rally downtown where they decided that I was a white supremacist. If you come here,
try that on me. Try that on me.
Well, we had one of our individuals was black, and Thomas Dwayne Smith, who was just on there, he said at the last rally, he said, "What? Am I now a member of the KKK?"
I'm a Texas supremacist. Okay, I'm a Texas supremacist. That's what I am. I'm a Texas supremacist. You take it up with me if you don't like it.
But now I lost my train of thought.
Bad. Sorry, Doc.
Frank said, by the way, there should be at least a 20% surcharge on any money that leaves the United States and goes to another country.
Well, I said 51% just for just almost like you're going to work for us, basically. Whatever money you make, 51% of it's going to come back into government treasury. You can send the rest of it over if you want. 51% if you're sending it to certain countries, just like you got those certain the banned countries that have no effective government or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, then, if you're sending money to designated countries, Triangle, Central American countries, or into Mexico, we're going to take 51% of it, no matter how you got it. If you're sending it back in, that's how 51% we're taking it.
Yeah, I completely agree with you, and that would solve the entire problem. It'd buy more than the wall. My point was simply this, though, that I made down there. If you want to come to this country, you want to learn to speak English, you want to start a business, you want to be, above all, an American, you are welcome here. I don't care what color your skin is. I don't care what language your grandfather spoke. All I care about is that you want to join me in being American. I'm completely for that. The problem that we have is most of these invaders, the ones that you've detailed, they're not coming here to be Americans. They're coming here to bring the same crap that they just left to America.
They're here to conquer.
Yes. There's no other way to look at it.
And you have those within government that are complicit, and I don't call it sedition, I call it treason. When you have governments allowing illegal invaders you're granting them the franchise, that's treason.
Yes.
But then how can you argue against illegal invaders being given the franchise, even for local elections that they argue for school boards, when the illegal invaders have been ordered by the Supreme Court of the United States, the scrotum, those gods in black robes on Mount Olympus, that we have to educate them. So if their children are illegally in classrooms, protected by the DREAM Act, in-state tuition preferences, then why wouldn't the argument be by the socialists, by the statists, by the anti-Christians, they've got to give them the right to vote as well. When you start giving the illegal invaders the franchise for any reason at any level, conquest is at our doorstep. Any any amnesty whatsoever, turns the United States into Japan on the USS Missouri at the end of World War II. We're the surrenderers. We're the ones that are capitulating. We're the ones that are handing over our sword.
Well, I don't know if you heard the story, but I did it. It was last year. But there's a school over in Piney Point right here in an exclusive neighborhood in Houston. And a lot of the parents showed up down at the school to register their children right before classes opened at the end of August. And they were told that there was no room for their kids in the school.
Yeah, that makes sense.
They said, I live here. I live 3 blocks from. What do you mean there's no room for my kids?
I'm a property taxpayer. And let me tell you something. Those homes in Piney Point, you're not. There's no apartment homes in Piney Point. Okay, no. You're not going to find a home less than $500,000 in Piney Point. That's part of the memorial. That's part of the memorial villages. Okay. Yes. Piney Point, Hedgewick Village. What's some of the others? Not Spring Meadows. Well, everybody knows them over there, right? The little feudal.
It's all high-dollar real estate. A lot of medical professionals. A lot of oil. A lot of oil professionals.
The River Oaks wannabes is what they are, right? You know, they're one level before the river.
Well, that's because in River Oaks, you can't buy a piece of land with a tool shed on it for less than $1 million. So.
And you have to have connections. You have to be approved to live in River Oaks.
So, but that to me really, I mean, I couldn't believe it. Here I am. I'm a taxpayer. I'm paying through the nose for these schools, these good schools in my neighborhood, and then I can't get my kids in because they've been filled with illegal aliens.
I am dutifully going to bond issue elections and passing for more debt to be put on me and my children and my grandchildren. I can't even get my own kids into a desk in a school 2 blocks from my house because of the illegal invaders and all the children that are coming in.
So getting down to it, this is the problem that we have to solve. How do we get... Here, I cut Donald Trump more slack than you do because I know he's got more problems than the Texas border.
No, I would cut him more slack, Doc. But if he's campaigning on this and he's raising money on this, and you got people out there like clapping seals saying build the wall when the wall isn't going to do a doggone thing for us right here, right now. Mm-hmm. That's what infuriates me. That's what gets me upset. That's why I'm not cutting him any slack. Don't campaign on it and don't deceive the people like you, Beauregard Sessions, and Kristen Nielsen are doing a fantastic job when you get an F-. The problem is as worse now than when Barack Hussein Obama and Mr. Goodhair Perry, Mr. 39 was in office. The problem hasn't gotten any better. So why are you cutting him some slack?
Well, I'm thinking maybe we would spend our time better on the border issue up in the Pink Palace lobbying some of our elected officials.
They're going to use the same excuses they used when Barack Hussein Obama was in office. It's the federal government's responsibility. We can't do anything because it's the federal government's responsibility. Yet you got St. Danny Boy Patrick. Oh, we spent $1.8 billion, $1.8 billion for border security. Oh. 0.5%.
You mean half of 1%?
0.5% of what you guys spend, okay? Right?
Yeah.
Right. But they'll still say, if we went after them, they'll say, oh, it's the federal government. President Trump is going to build the wall. We need the wall. No, man. We need to jump on you. We need to get you out of office is what we need to do. We need somebody in there that's serious about protecting us. And I know of no one in public office at a high level, including the president, that seems to have that type of priority.
Well, Frank asked the question. He said, hasn't this administration started the state enforcement waivers? And that's something that I'm not personally aware of. I don't know the answer to that, Frank. You have anything on that?
No, I never heard of it.
Okay, yeah, I don't know. Don't know, had not heard. So anyway.
In other words, there's a waiver for the states to be able to secure their border, use their own resources to do that, human and financial.
You know, kind of like in Canada, like if you can't get a breast exam, you're a female, you can't get a breast exam for 5 years, they'll let you go to the States should you live that long.
See, the thing I'm thinking, though, Doc, is like, I don't think posse comitatus applies here. If the country is being invaded by, Argentines and tanks, wouldn't the U.S. military be on the border? just because the invaders are wearing dirty diapers.
We would have to be, but that's it. See, they treat this different. They say, "Oh, it's a humanitarian issue. This is not a real military invasion." But I have always been of the mind that they are simply pre-placing an army, because a lot of these unaccompanied minors are 22, 23 years old.
I don't know, Doc. I mean, I go back to, hey, we got militia, send them on the border. We've been calling for that for years, Doc, without hesitation.
Yep. It's true.
Without fear of repercussion.
You might want to get a copy of that book, We Defy, by Tommy Attaway, perhaps, while you guys are thinking about it. It's on Amazon.
You know, so when I'm criticizing the president, believe me, it's always from the point of liberty.
Mm-hmm. Well,
right, and I'm cynical, man.
That's because that's what we're about. Raging Elephants Radio started out about liberty. It remains so. American Voice Radio being no different.
If you're sitting there and you're campaigning on $1.4 trillion to be spent on national security, you're going to tell me you can't carve out $25 million, which I don't think it costs that much to build it, $25 million to build a border wall on an accelerated program?
Oh, I think you could do it, yeah.
If they can expand the Katy Freeway the way they did in 2 or 3, 4 years, you're going to tell me you can't build a border wall at least to 1,244 miles of Texas border first? You mean the Texas government can't carve out with a budget of over $200 billion per two years?
They could, but see, now you've reared off into something else. The Republicans that run the Texas government make too much money off of illegal alien labor, and that's why they don't.
I'm just trying to inform Texans, and no matter where you are, if you're in Arkansas, if you're in Florida, if you're in Oregon, if you're in Louisiana, I'm just trying to inform you what the real situation is. What's to be done about it is entirely up to the electorate and the populace. And they've got to be in an uproar. They have to be enraged about how they're being deceived, how they're being lied to, and how their sovereignty is being sold out. It's a total capitulation.
Indeed. Hi, Mary. Nice to see you in there. Ben Gruda, good to see you, my friend. And, Tom Glass says Galen Beatty's also his AC man.
Galen's good.
Yeah, he said, I heard about him on the show. All right, see, there you are. So, Galen, your money's well spent, especially if you got Tom Glass for a client. That's an impressive fellow. Carl Pittman, good to see you in the chat room as well. Christine, I haven't seen you in a while, and glad to see you in the chat room. Patricia Freeman, thank you for sharing. Please like and share, guys. If you're on YouTube, give me a thumbs up. These things do make a difference, and I greatly appreciate it when you do that. So thank you so much. And Tom Glass, you ought to call in from time to time because you're an interesting fellow, and you always have something good to say. Paula, up there in North Texas, glad to see you. And, of course, Julie, out there in West Central Texas, my third favorite redhead. I love all of you guys, and I thank you for being part of the show today. Apostle Claver T. Kamau Imani, thank you for being part of the show today. I mean, you're a blessing to me. You have been for a long time. And
likewise.
It's so cool to get you here on the 5th anniversary show, even if it was a complete and total accident. And we'll see you guys, God willing, tomorrow. So anyway, thanks a lot. Please support my advertisers. Saw you, Frank.
The amazing Doc Green Show is on the air.